Agent Studio is GoHighLevel's native AI agent builder, which allows us to build agents that can do things like generate text, images, videos, create API calls, connect with MCP servers, and so much more. And today I'll show you how to create, test, and deploy your very first agent and connect it with all of the parts of your GoHighLevel sub account. My name is Andrew, and let's dive right in. You can get to Agent Studio from AI Agents and then Agent Studio at the top next to the Get Started page. Then you can click Create Agent on the top right-hand side to create one from scratch or browse Prebuilt agent templates. There's already a few in this template library, and I'm sure there will be more to come. But some of these agents that we have access to are things like customer support agents, lead qualification agents, agents that let us chat with Google Sheets, and even content generation agents, which allow us to do things like create content and take YouTube videos and turn them into blogs. Now, something to keep in mind, if you're using any of these pre-built agents, let's say this YouTube video to blog publisher, all you have to do is click preview in order to see what the agent's going to do, and then click choose template in order to actually build the agent and import this from the template library. Now that we're inside one of these pre-built agents, we'll go over all of the different actions and what we're looking at here. So this here is a visual canvas, which allows us to add on different nodes similar to the advanced workflow builder, starting with our trigger node at the beginning, which can trigger off of anything like a chat message, form submitted, lead tagged, or we can trigger these off of workflows using the workflow step invoke Agent Studio agents inside of our automations. And this will be the trigger node, the very start of our agent. We then have our actions, and we have different types of actions as you can see here. First action we have is an AI agent node. We can see this on the left-hand side under nodes. We have our AI agents, which are AIs that generate responses and execute tools autonomously. In this example, the very first AI agent action performs a specific task, and we can see that task by clicking the Edit AI Agent action. We'll then see the prompt for the agent, which is ask the user for a YouTube video URL for the specific use case of taking YouTube videos and turning them into blogs. We can then select the AI model that our agent is using here, and we have access to all of the open AI models. We then have our modes, which can be conversational or task-based. So if this agent has to do something like ask the user, us, which are the ones interacting with it for some piece of text, we can use conversational, or if it's task-based and it's just going to be performing actions, we can just do task-based and we don't have to talk with it. We can then add on different tools for our AI agents to use. These tools come from the left-hand side, as you can see here, and these are just different tools which we can add to this AI agent card. For example, we first have a router tool. The router tool is simply like an if branch. It's a branching function. So if we click into this tool right here, we'll now open up the router configuration. This is a tool within our AI agent node. And you'll see we only have one condition, that there's a valid YouTube video, and we can set up this condition here under our condition type using and or, just like a regular if branch, and then we can set up our variables, operators, and values. Now that you're seeing some of these, let's talk about variables and values inside of our AI agent workflows. These don't work the same as regular automations because we have dedicated preset variables which we can edit in the top of our settings, and we can first see variables right here next to the title. We can click variables and we'll see three different types of variables: global, input, and runtime. Global variables are variables that stay the same across every single run, and you can set these hard-coded right here in the top. So for this case, we're doing things like API calls and interacting with our actual GoHighLevel location to create that blog. So we need to include things like our location ID, our GHL API token, and an API token for an external platform. This is where we set those values here. And we can set if those values are string, number, Boolean, or JSON. We can include descriptions, we can add new configurations, and so on here. Think of these as just the values that your AI agent is going to use inside of this workflow. We then have our input variables. Now, input variables happen at different steps of the process. For example, we have an input variable right here whenever we ask for the YouTube video URL. Once the user gives that YouTube video URL, that becomes an input variable as well as a runtime variable. So our input variables are what our users are putting in, and the runtime variables are what our AI agent is getting out. All of these runtime variables are things like the YouTube video ID, blog ID, YouTube data, post data, and returns from our API calls. So that's really all they are. Now we can call from any of these variables at different points inside of our workflow. So for an example, on the next step here, we're running an API call in order to actually get information from that YouTube video that we are giving our AI agent. And in order to do that, we have to use things like headers and request body in order to include that API key that we talked about earlier. So we could include under here our global variables under global configuration, and there is our API token that we can include inside of this sequential node. Now, what are sequential nodes? What do these do, and how are these different from AI agents? Well, sequential nodes are just nodes that run multiple actions in sequence. So rather than having 3 different individual cards, we can have one card that does multiple things one after another in order. So the first thing that happens is it runs the API call, then it runs the router action to see if the API response is available. This is important because this basically just shows that we had a successful run from our API, and if not, then it doesn't continue. But it runs these 2 in sequence. Now you can add additional processing nodes by clicking add a processing node, and you can select different actions inside of your left-hand menu. Now that we're talking about the difference between AI agent nodes and sequential nodes, let's talk more about how these are going to work differently inside of your automations. Essentially, your AI agent nodes allow you to include a prompt and talk to an AI agent while you're performing your actions. And your sequential nodes can just do regular things like API calls or any of the other actions we have, like capturing email addresses, phones, or generating audio, image, text, or video. And once you understand that, you'll be able to see that you can use these different tools on AI agent or sequential nodes depending on what your use case is. And really, your whole workflow will just swap between these 2 different types of nodes as you're building out whatever your workflow may be. So as you're building out your Agent Studio workflows, you can utilize all these different actions on the left-hand side in order to generate audio, generate images, text, video. And if you don't know which one of these actions to use, you can use the Build with AI feature inside of your Agent Studio. Let's go ahead and test this inside of a new canvas. Back in Agent Studio, we can click Create Agent and click Create from Scratch, give our agent a title, and click Create. This will open up a blank canvas where we can start with our trigger. Again, we have those 4 triggers for form submission, chat message, lead tag, and workflows. Now let's click Build with AI in order to create our agents with natural language. So let's start with a simple prompt. Generate an agent that creates a social media image post for my brand, along with a caption, and checks with the user to see if they like what was created. We can send this through to our Build with AI feature over here on the left-hand side, and then this will either ask us some questions to get some clarification around what we're trying to build, or it will go straight to actually building the agent on the actual canvas. And just like that, we got our response, including some steps that's going to do. So our first step is to trigger from our chat widget when we want to create a new social post, collect a short brief about the brand, the product, the platform, etc., generate the image, create a caption, and then show the image and the caption to the user and ask for approval. We can then say either build it and test it first, looks good, build it now, or we can change something. So we'll go ahead and say looks good, build it, and now this will build our agent inside of Agent Studio. And there we go. Just about a minute later, it's finished going through all of these steps, and we can even see a preview of our agent right here, which is really cool. We can go ahead and click this full screen, and we'll be able to actually see the preview of the agent and what it's going to build for us before we even approve it. So if we like what this looks like, we'll go ahead and click apply. This will throw our agent into our Agent Studio, and just like that, we have a fully built out AI agent inside of GoHighLevel's Agent Studio. Now that we have a basic social media AI agent built, let's go ahead and talk about testing, deploying, and publishing these agents. You'll see in the top right of our screen, we have test and publish and a save button right here. The first step is to test your agent. You shouldn't really publish something unless you've tested it first. So we can start by clicking test your agent. This will send a simple message to the AI agent, which starts off in a chat interface unless our trigger is any different. And here we go. It's going through the process of asking for the brand name and taglines we want included. So we'll go ahead and include those now. We'll say the brand is GoHighLevel, the best AI marketing software on the planet, and it's out of this world. We'll go ahead and send this to our AI agent, and then it will continue asking us questions like we have set up. You'll see we went through that first text input, then we have the second text input, and we'll go through each one of these steps right now in order to get all the information it needs for our social media post. We said that the post is for Agent Studio, and we'll say that it is for our Instagram feed. We'll choose the goal of this post as awareness. Then our audience will be high-level users. The key message will be to automate more and worry less. We will upload the GoHighLevel logo and some pricing and information like that. And lastly, I think that was our last text input, so it knows everything that it needs to know in order to generate our images. And again, we can collect all of this inside of, let's say, a form or anything else in order to run this inside of an automation. So you can do this at scale outside of the actual agent builder. And there we go. That's the image that we got back. And the great part about this is we can just add in some revisions like we told it to do. So we can tell it to make it less busy and a little more simple. We'll get back our second revision, and then we can move on from there. We've even got our entire caption saying Meet Agent Studio, including some hashtags and so on. So we know this workflow works. And when we're ready to publish this and use it all of the time, whether it's in workflows or within Ask AI, all we have to do is click Publish and click Promote to Production. And then this will save our new workflow right here. We'll then see a new button called Deploy. And whenever we click Deploy, we can deploy this to Ask AI or deploy to API. Now, by deploying to Ask AI, it means that we'll be able to actually call this within Ask AI inside of HighLevel. So this will take us over to Settings and Ask AI, and this is where we can then click Map New Agent, and we can select our location from our agency level. We can then select our agent that we created and then click Next. Then we can include a description, capabilities, and then click Save and Integrate. This will then mean that the agent is now live and posted to production with our Ask AI system inside of HighLevel. So whenever we click Ask AI at the top right here, we can go back and ask it to actually utilize that agent or to do that action. And again, you saw that deploy to API. We can also click Deploy to API, create a new API token for this specific agent. We can give it specific scopes, add in the token name, and then click Create. And this gives us the ability to use this agent from other platforms via the API. So we can do so much with this and even build marketplace apps around our pre-built AI agents inside of Agent Studio. Once you click Create, you'll get your API token. You'll get that right over here under Bearer Key. You'll see the scopes. You'll see the preview of the code that you want to use, API guide and terminology. You can copy this code and then use it inside of other apps in order to utilize this agent inside of Agent Studio. So as you can tell, there's so much that you can do with Agent Studio, and this is going to be an absolute game changer when it comes to building AI agents inside of your HighLevel account. Of course, if you have any questions about generating AI agents inside of HighLevel using Agent Studio, feel free to drop a comment on this video or refer to the rest of the help doc. As always, my name is Andrew, and thank you very much for watching.